So this guy's saying is so fun it's actually harming the regular game. I kind of want to see what he says.
We'll talk about 2v8 a bit and go over what it means for the actual main game of Dead by Daylight and how we can possibly learn what some of the main problems are in the main game from this. So the whole thing is 2v8 has been insanely fun. It's so fun that I kind of don't want to do anything else. I kind of only want to play 2v8. So when it goes away, I'm going to be very, very sad.
Yeah.
Obviously, playing Killer with a friend is a whole new experience, but even playing Survivor was more fun than I thought because there's far less downtime. It's just pure chaos. There's less weight on you as a teammate, things like that. So I was thinking...
Less weight on you as a teammate. There's little to no possibility for them to camp you because you relocate, you know? You literally move where you're at, so they can't camp you. There's no way for them to tunnel you by comparison.
Now, this mode actually is perceived to be more fun than the regular mode of DBD. I even made a poll on Twitter, and about 68% people said they found 2v8 more fun than 1v4.
This is exactly the issue that I was talking about, right? If you take a game mode that is entirely balanced around perks and items and add-ons, and you remove perks and items and add-ons, then all of a sudden you're playing a mode where there is no grind. You don't have to worry about having a perfect build every game. You play with the classes that are given based off the preference that you like for Survivor, and then you play the killer that you like based off of whatever additional perks they have that benefit the other killer, kind of do some weird combos with that. But this game removes the core of DBD while enhancing the gameplay, and people are liking it more, which is super problematic because if you're removing the core, like the core grind or like level up procedure in DBD, and you start only playing 2v8 where that is non-existent, then blood points become useless, and then eventually you'll get to a point where there's no longer a reason to really be playing the game, right? Because eventually
when you... Is this a Wild Assault stream?
Shut the fuck up, Angry. Eventually, when you get to the point, if they were to fully commit to, like, they removed 1v4 and they kept it 2v8, then what happens then? You play without any incentive of anything. You're not playing, you're not getting blood points, you're not buying anything, you're not getting items, you're not getting perks, you're not leveling up new characters. It's pure gameplay. And I think games can survive like that. Like if you think of a game kind of like Overwatch or something like that, because that's the most recent one that I've been playing more off stream. Overwatch is pure gameplay. There's no like blood point level up system. There's like paid currency and stuff to get outfits and stuff like that, which is something I'm sure they could still keep if they were to do only 2v8, like the trinkets that you get during these events. But they don't have like a point system where you level up perks and add-ons and stuff like that. And it works for them, but I don't know if that'll work for a game like DBD. Because when you compare it, because I played a lot of the other ASIM games that have come out alongside DBD. Like I played every single one, I think. Evil Dead the game, I played a VHS, I played Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I played TCM. And all of them got to a point where I had nothing left to do, and it was just pure gameplay. In TCM, I reached, I maxed out all the perks, and then I started using perks I didn't like to max them out, and then eventually I had nothing left to max out, and I stopped playing the game. The gameplay was fun, but it wasn't fun enough to keep playing with no purpose. And I just don't think DBD is the type of game that can keep going without there being some sort of incentive. I know some people play with their blood points maxed out all the time, right? But that's like a small portion of people. They're just playing to have fun, right? But you want to have something to progress, which is the whole point of the P100 system, right? Like I have every achievement in the game. I finished every challenge in all the previous tomes. I have multiple P100s. The only real thing I have left to grind is other P100s, and that's a good enough incentive for me to still enjoy feeling like I have something to work towards. And I think this mode is basically removing all that there is to work towards, and people are liking that better. But my worry is people are liking this better for now, right? If they were to only do this, and they were like, oh, you know what, we're just going to switch DBD to a full 2v8 sided mode, or a 2v8 sided game, I don't think that it would be good for the game overall. because all those other games like Evil Dead, TCM, stuff like that, those games died once people were maxed out. They came out, people grinded the shit out of those games. Evil Dead, I played a lot of Evil Dead. And nowadays, well, Evil Dead's like dead in the ground. But they added a prestige system way too late, way too late. And I was already done playing because I had already maxed out the characters that I wanted to do. It was like max level 25, and there was not much more. I kind of stopped playing. Same thing happened with TCM. VHS died for its own reason. Killer Clowns is still going, but Killer Clowns suffers the same issue that I'm seeing right now. I struggle playing more Killer Clowns because I'm already max level, right? So I don't really have much to grind for, and I kind of want. This is why I keep like coming back to DBDs. There's still stuff to do. And as much as I like this 2v8 mode, it does worry me that 2v8 mode might actually be more fun than 1v4, but that is because how it's designed around the class system and stuff like that. But because of how it's designed, it can also decrease the longevity of DBD because there's nothing to grind for. So it all of a sudden becomes, it's too fun, like exactly what he's saying, it's too fun for its own good.
And this takes it to another level by having the preset builds that are remarkably well balanced. Like Runner might be a little too strong, but for the most part, I think it's pretty well balanced.
Runner's not a little too strong. It's just too good compared to the other classes. Like, why would you want to run Guide over Runner? You know. They need to either buff the other ones or
not having to worry about
running
into 80 second chance perks or slowdowns has been really nice as well. So because of all of this, there's just a lot less stress in the 2v8 mode. Plus, it's a limited time mode and it's new, so there's a lot of
sprint burst plus windows, and yeah, it's ridiculous when you think about it like that. It's old MFT, windows of opportunity, AoE sprint burst on a half the cooldown exhaustion normal. So it is pretty nutty, but it applying to your teammates, I think, is a good idea. So I don't really mind the 20-second exhaustion if you're giving it to other people, because it lets them run the role without running the role. You know, like that's why I like the healer one, because it makes it so you increase other people's healing speed, so they heal yourself faster, so you're benefiting from it as well.
And the poll I did on Twitter indicates that also people preferred this mode over regular DBD, so I don't really know how to fix this problem. It sucks like complaining about an issue and not offering a solution, but I truly don't know what they could do.
This is something I discussed, by the way, another day, or the other day. What is going to happen when this mode becomes permanent like they said? All of a sudden, you have 1v4 queue, you have 2v8 queue, and then you have an event mode coming out, because they said they want to start making events have their own queue, like they did for the anniversary event. And then you're going to have a Christmas event, Christmas event queue, 2v8 queue, 1v4 queue. The DBD is a relatively large game, but it is not big enough queue time wise, I think, to be having 3 separate queuing experiences. Like, I really don't think it's big enough to be having stuff like that. So if they are going to make 2v8 permanent, they need to go back to putting the events either maybe exclusively in 2v8 or exclusively in 1v4, because for the sake of queue times, I don't think DBD is big enough to sustain something like that.
In terms of fixing queue times, you could always offer like iridescent shards, the survivor, actual, real currency that could do something. Even if it's only a little
I'd like that. Bro, if they offered iridescent shards, I would definitely do.
You could do.
I mean, I'm already playing more Survivor. Survivor is fun as fuck in this mode.
So there are ways to fix that. People have also talked about a priority pass system where if you queue for Survivor for 3 games, you get priority queue for Killer for 1 game. Things like that. A lot of games have done something similar, and that can totally work. So there's plenty of things you can do to fix the queue, but once this mode eventually goes away...
Maybe do what Killer Clowns does for 2v8 exclusively. You can set a preference, and then you can get Killer, you can get Survivor.
Into a once-a-month thing. We're left with the
regular
mode.
And like every other game, you get Killer. Every other game, you get Survivor.
Still brings back all the stress and all that stuff, so... I don't know, man. I don't really know how to fix that, and I wanted to make this video to see if you guys had better solutions, because, again, there's little things we can do, but in terms of, like, actually really replicating the chaos of this mode,
I think I've seen basically, like, the majority of the video, because we're about to roll into a match here. I kind of want to wrap it up. I think they're going to need to create some sort of system to spend points on for exclusively 2v8 for the long term or the longevity of it. Or I think the iridescent shards in a queue, in like a queue role and incentive, I think that's a really good idea. I think that could actually help, because that would motivate me. I know it would motivate me. It would probably motivate some other people as well. But I think they just need to be careful how many separate queues they're going to keep making, because you can't have a million queues for a game that's not the size of the game like Fortnite or something like that, you know, where you have like millions and millions of people on at a time. Because I think it's going to kill the queue times, and over time, queue times equals the game will die, you know, too long.